ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen. Can you give yourselves a real round of applause real quickly, please? Ladies and gentlemen, please give yourselves a round of applause. If I could describe how I'm feeling right now, the only way I could do it is just to say, I am excited, ladies and gentlemen, because right now, I'd like to welcome everyone to the 31st Spirit of Generation Awards Luncheon. I am DJ LC. And let's get this party started. Please welcome the Senior Source Board Chair, Den Bishop.
Good afternoon, everyone. I join my fellow board members, the Senior Source staff, our wonderful volunteers, in thanking you for attending today's event. We are so pleased to have you with us as we honor our Spirit of Generations honoree, Elaine Agather, and Molly H. Bogan Service Award recipient, Jason Krosick. I would like to take a moment to recognize all of the past honorees in attendance with us today. Please stand as you hear your name. Audience, please hold your applause until we have recognized all past honorees. 2019 honoree, Mike Boone. I said hold your applause. 2011 honoree, Becky Bright. 2018 honoree, Sandra Estes. 2024 honoree, Louise Griffith. 2016 honorees, Jan and Fred Heggie. 2022 honorees, Kathy and Larry Helm. 2009 honorees, Sally and Forrest Hoagland. 2011 honorees, Lydia and Dan Novikov. 2017 honorees, Diane and John Scoville. And last but not least, 2002 honoree, Linus Wright. Some of you have been friends of the Senior Source for a very long time, and we appreciate your partnership over the many years. It means so much to us to look out into the audience and see so many friendly faces. Thank you for being here. For others, this may be your first introduction to the Senior Source. Welcome. We're glad you're here. If you haven't been to one of our luncheons before, you should know we aim to inform and to entertain. One thing is for certain, after today's event, we'll all know more about the Senior Source and our honoree. This luncheon recognizes someone who has contributed in the thoughts, words, and deeds to all generations of the Dallas community. Today we are honoring Elaine Agather, Global Vice Chair and J.P. Morgan Private Bank. Elaine is not only known as being a trailblazer in the banking industry, but she is also known for being in the grand entry of the Fort Worth Rodeo for 34 years. Wait, is Elaine here? I see her table, her family and colleagues, and she's nowhere to be found. This will definitely be the first time that we've had a no-show. Oh, wait. Why, it's no other than Elaine making her grand entrance. It's on a horse, a 1966 Mustang. This is not your first rodeo. Welcome, Elaine.
Please welcome Luncheon Chair Dee Velvin and Underwriting Chair Catherine Weicker.
Elaine, we are incredibly thrilled to be honoring you today. What fun. As Den mentioned, this luncheon makes a significant impact in the work that the Senior Source does in Dallas. In its 31 years, it has raised over $21 million for older adults in Dallas community. Wow, how about that? 21. Excuse me. I want to thank my co-chairs in this effort, Sweet Catherine Weicker and Martin Cox, who you'll meet later, and our incredible committee. We are almost to our goal with just $20,000 left to go, but we need your help.
Unrestricted funds from this luncheon provide life-changing work for over 20,000 older adults in our community each year. And there are 4 easy ways to make a donation. There is still time to participate in the raffle, so take a look at the screens to find the item or items that you want to win. Scan and click on the QR code on the screens or at your table to purchase your tickets, which are $50 each. The raffle ends at 12:30. Or you can purchase the centerpiece. These beautiful orchids have been donated by Central Market, along with the darling bandanas from the National Cowgirl Museum and Hall of Fame that Elaine helped to build. Making an outright donation is the most efficient way to support the great work of the Senior Source. Or, brand new this year, you can donate a care kit for the residents of the Brentwood located in South Dallas. Did you know that 50% of residents in nursing homes and assisted living facilities never have a single visitor? Can you imagine? Because of your generosity and kindness today, these kits will let the residents know that they are thought of and remembered.
And now it's our pleasure to introduce Dr. Terry Flowers, Perot Family Headmaster of St. Philip's School and Community Center, who will give today's invocation.
Good afternoon, good afternoon. Please join me in prayer. Good afternoon, God. It's us. We come to you, God, pleading guilty. There are those of us here who love you, those of us who claim to love you, and those of us who are still making up our minds. Either way is okay, because your word says that every knee shall bow and every tongue shall confess. Those of us who love you come to you believing in life and life everlasting. We recognize that life everlasting comes with struggle. We embrace the notion that a long life is not good enough, but a good life is long enough. We acknowledge that the ultimate good life is life everlasting, but we know that the path of aging with dignity is not always easy for everyone. Lord, we thank the Senior Source, and we thank you for all who support it, all who make the resources available so that our aging can be protected from predators, can receive financial guidance, can receive emotional well-being. You, through the Senior Source, are a true blessing. God, continue to grant Senior Source all that it needs to help the aging navigate through the life's troubles of this world with dignity. Lord, we are reminded that everybody is God's somebody. And we're thankful that last night was not our last night. You have things for us to do. You have people that you want us to help. Let us edit our souls and our hearts to examine how we are living purposeful lives, for how we're disrupting oppressive mismanagement of human life. Lord, everybody is God's somebody. God, we plead guilty and stand accused for wanting to be like Elaine Agatha and a legion of others who strive to turn their success into significance. God, please yield us what we need, that we might be all that you would have us to be. We thank you for all who sacrifice on behalf of the Senior Source. And Lord, we acknowledge that the ultimate Senior Source is you, that all power lies in your hands. We ask, God, that you bless the meal that is before us, and that you see that it strengthens and nourishes our bodies, that we may use that nourishment to uplift your kingdom and to be a blessing into the lives of others. And we stand guilty, and we give you our admission that we want only one thing. Please, God, allow us to use our remaining ticks on the clock to do only one thing, but make you smile. And for this, we'll forever give you the glory. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy your lunch. Ladies and gentlemen, a friendly reminder, the raffle will close in 5 minutes. The raffle will be closing in 5 minutes. so many great people in a great place for a great reason. And speaking of great, ladies and gentlemen, I ask you to please join me in welcoming Stacy Malcolmson, President and CEO of the Senior Source.
Thanks, DJLC, for that fabulous walk-up song. Is it off-brand to be forever young when I work for an older adult organization? I don't know. Anyway, hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'd first like to recognize my staff who's done an outstanding job on this luncheon. Caroline, Andrea, Madeline, Den, and Shelby, so thank you. And please join me in welcoming our hardworking staff who are so dedicated to our mission of improving the lives of older adults. While we'd like to spread joy, which you're about to see, we are also doing serious work. To demonstrate our impact, please turn your attention to the screens.
I told him everything, even my pin. He said he was with you. He sounded so convincing. Can't you get my money back?
I'm so sorry, Mr. Ellis, but since you provided the details willingly, there's nothing we can do to reverse the transactions.
That was my savings.
I understand, sir. I truly am sorry.
I wish you were here, Ruth. I feel so lost. Hello? I think I've been scammed. I don't know what to do.
Welcome in, Mr. Ellis.
I'm a little nervous. I've never been in a situation like this before.
I understand you might be feeling nervous, and that's perfectly okay. We will do everything we can to help.
Today, you will be learning how to protect yourself from online frauds and scams.
How do you feel now that you've gone through all this?
You have no idea how great this feels, knowing that someone cares. I'd like to give back if I can.
We're always looking for volunteers if you'd like to sign up.
Oh, Ruth, I think things are going to be okay.
Thank you to DHD Films for putting that together for us. Over here, great. Many older adults like Mr. Ellis do not report these types of crimes because of embarrassment. They don't know how to report a scam, or they're worried that their family may think that they can no longer control their finances. Fortunately, over the past 10 years, the Senior Sources Elder Financial Safety Center has protected 61,000 seniors from financial frauds and scams. This year, we have a vision for the next 10 years of empowering 100,000 older adults to achieve financial stability. We are also leaning into our work with family caregivers. Juggling caregiving demands can increase social isolation, have a financial strain, and induce high levels of stress. Our caregiver support team helps these caregivers navigate home care and home safety options, advises them on how to create a care plan, and connects them with other caregivers. As our society continues to age, we will all be caring for someone or need someone to care for us. Lastly, I want to touch on our long-term care ombudsman program. This program identifies and resolves problems related to the health, safety, and welfare of 13,000 residents of nursing homes and assisted living facilities in Dallas County. It's horrifying to know that Texas ranks 46th in the country in terms of quality of care for our nursing homes. And you heard Catherine mention earlier that more than half of the residents never receive a visitor. Fortunately, our certified staff make regular check-ins on the residents to ensure their complaints are being resolved. Our Friendly Visitor programs connects thousands of corporate and civic volunteers with local nursing homes to host gifts, visits, and care packages like the one you saw earlier today. This ombudsman program is not just federally mandated, it is federally funded. If those dollars are cut or reduced, it will be up to all of us to ensure residents continue to have an advocate. But I'm not only appealing to you today with the help of the threat of funding cuts. I said it last year, and I'll say it again. Only 3% of philanthropic dollars go to support older adult causes. That is not acceptable. Your donation today allows us to be an advocate, a trusted advisor, and even a lifeline for thousands of Dallas seniors each and every year. On behalf of the entire staff, thank you for remembering a portion of the population that is often forgotten. And now for our first award. The Molly H. Bogan Service Award is named for Molly Bogan, who is here today, who served for 40 years as president and CEO of the Senior Source. This award honors a community leader or leaders who have made significant contributions to ensuring older adults in the Dallas area have the tools and resources they need to thrive. Like the award's namesake, the awardee advocates for older adults by generously giving their time, talent, and passion to furthering the mission of the Senior Source. In short, this year's honoree, Jason Krosick, is our Beat the Heat mastermind. Beat the Heat is the Senior Source's annual event where we provide air conditioning units for low-income older adults. And actually all started with an idea that Jason had in 2017 to install window units in the homes of a handful of seniors. As demand for the ACs grew and the fundraising appeal grew, Jason's commitment to and leadership of this project exploded. Using his business relationships, he negotiates the prices for AC units with Home Depot and Lowe's, often very successfully pitting them against each other. Before he negotiated the delivery of the units, he actually transported them on his trailer to the distribution sites. And each and every year, you can find Jason at our Beat the Heat events loading almost every AC into the cars. Fortunately, from the handful of units in 2017 to over 660 given last summer, Jason has helped us serve approximately 1,100 older adults and saved the agency an amazing $82,000. Now, you may be thinking that his last name sounds familiar, and it is because he is married to Julie, the director of our Elder Financial Safety Center, but she swears that Jason isn't forced to do this. And even though Jason is an avid New York Giants fan, we decided to honor him anyway. For his time, talent, and passion in helping the Senior Source and being a strong protector of older adults in our community, please join me in congratulating Jason Krosick as this year's Molly H. Bogan Service Award honoree.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the main event, presented and produced by the Senior Source. Let me introduce Eight is Enough, hosted by the one, the only, Martin Cox.
The best is yet to come, and babe, won't it be fine? The best.
Nice music. Good afternoon. When the Senior Source called me to be the MC, I immediately accepted. But if they hadn't, I was going to call them and offer my services. Elaine and I have been friends and colleagues for decades, and it's truly a privilege to host this show and honor this amazing person. Welcome to the Senior Source's version of 8 is Enough. Since this is the Senior Source, I presume many of you in the audience remember the family TV show from the 1970s. For the younger ones here, it was nothing like the Kardashians. Let's take a moment and talk about the number 8, though. It's associated with all sorts of magic, good fortune, and inner strength. Going back in time again, does anyone remember the magic 8 ball? 8's also the luckiest number in the Chinese culture because it sounds like to generate wealth, which is what this luncheon is all about. And then there's infinity, which is how most programs like this feel at this point. But not this one. Most importantly and most relevant to our time together, people associated with the number 8 are said to be intelligent, focused, and ambitious. It's no surprise that when Elaine wanted to create her own successful principles, that she chose to have 8 of them. Hence, 8 is enough. You have a copy of Elaine's 8 on the back page of your program, so feel free to follow along. Elaine's first principle is saddle your own horse. Now, don't think for 1 second that our dynamo fell off her horse like this poor cowgirl. Ooh. No, not Elaine. She was not about to wait either for her dream job to come along. She took charge of her career, crisscrossed the Atlantic Ocean from New York to London to San Francisco, and finally back to the great state of Texas. She made her family and banking home in Dallas and Fort Worth and made a lasting impression on our first speaker and long-term bank client, Karen Prothro. Welcome, Karen.
Well, my first meeting with Elaine was when I served on the Texas Commerce Bank Board way back when. Who can remember Texas Commerce Bank? Anybody? Okay. Well, when Elaine walked into the room, it was a sight to behold at that board meeting. What banker in the 1980s wears 5-inch red high heels and to a business meeting? Well, she commanded our attention right away, and later we became really good friends. Fast forward to the year 2000, after Texas Commerce Bank was bought by Chemical Bank, which was bought by Manufacturers Hanover. Well, anyway, all these names are so confusing. She took me to lunch, looking fabulous as always. And as I needed a helping hand then, our relationship went on through, well, another 3 or 4 changes of the name of the bank. And who else but Elaine came through all of it, riding higher than ever before on her proverbial horse and saddle. And speaking of saddles, check out some of the outfits she's worn at the grand entrance of the Fort Worth Stock Show and Rodeo. Boy, what a real rhinestone cowgirl if there ever was one. This woman cannot be ruffled. Even after she was mistakenly locked out of her own home, coming back from a big flight overnight, and a big bank meeting was in store for her, she still was able to make it work, arrive on time, perfectly groomed, of course, and high-heeled, and she nailed that meeting. What would you expect? Elaine, thank you for letting me hitch my ride to your horse and saddle. Thank you.
All right, principle number 2. As defined in this principle, like what you do means that you know how to make the most of opportunities and you look for the positive in every situation. Let's hear from Todd Massey, U.S. Head of Investments and Advice at J.P. Morgan Private Bank.
Like what you do. I have lived and learned this one from Elaine Agatha. She loves everything she does. And she has taught me that if you like what you do, it's not work. It's a privilege to be able to do it and a joy to get to walk in every day and suit up and do your job, because it's not a job. It's fun. And let me tell you something. Every situation she is in, she likes what she does. The 5 a.m. flight where she's got the flight attendants laughing, the third evening of the event where she's seeing old friends and meeting new ones, the Starbucks line where she's talking to everybody around her. The 17th rodeo is just as important as the first rodeo. Elaine likes what she does, and she makes you like doing it with her as well. She lives life to the fullest. She brings energy. She brings joy. I wish I had even this much of it, but I'm trying, Elaine. I'm trying. She loves everything she does, and I tell you what, I like, scratch that. I love being able to have done this for 30 years with you, my partner. You are the best, and this has been way more fun than work should be. Thank you.
All right, number 3, turn on a dime. In the banking world, Elaine is known for her ability to pivot and charge forward in leading teams with wit and wisdom, as she has weathered 11 mergers. That's right, 11. In the community, Elaine is known for always stepping up to the plate and stepping in to help when needed. Joining me on the stage is the former mayor of Fort Worth, Betsy Price, and John Goff, CEO of Goff Capital.
Thank you, Martin. Howdy. We're from Fort Worth, you know. As Fort Worth was starting to think about coming out of the pandemic, how do we move our businesses forward? How do we move our small businesses forward? And I knew exactly who we needed to help us with that project, John Goff and Elaine Agatha. Why wouldn't you need them? Busy people do great things. And as I was preparing to ask Elaine to join Fort Worth Now and co-chair, head up this initiative to get us back on track after COVID, people said she won't do it. She's too busy. Chairman of Performing Arts for Fort Worth, the Dallas Citizens Commission Executive Board, helping build the National Medal of Honor Museum in Arlington. And it goes on, and of course, Elaine was the first female board member of the Fort Worth Stock Show and Rodeo. But without hesitation, Elaine said, "Yes, Betsy, where do you need me and how can I help?" It was amazing. Early morning Zoom calls, late evening Zoom calls. Elaine was there, always prompt and always looking like $1 million. And you remember what most of us looked like on Zoom calls during COVID. She was there doing what she said, and she learned so much about her hometown, she told me later, that she didn't know. Heck, she even learned to drive to Joe T's and Dickey's Arena without using her GPS.
Elaine is truly a one-of-a-kind businesswoman. She lights up a room with her enthusiasm, her smarts, and her tenacity. She can be charming as well as tough as nails in the very same meeting. And I can tell you that personally because I've been the recipient of both. I have never, and this is true, I have never seen her intimidated, and I've experienced Elaine in meetings and all kinds of different environments and situations. She is an absolute legend within J.P. Morgan, and I've seen firsthand that when she walks into the room, when Jamie Dimon is there, he lights up. She's been with him forever, and he knows what a powerful force she is within that bank.
Elaine, from John and I and all of Fort Worth and all of this region, thank you. Dallas, if y'all are not careful, we're going to keep her on our side of the Trinity full time because you know she can't find her way back.
If you take anything from this skit, you'll see how Elaine binds people together. Elaine defines stay connected as developing and nurturing relationships. Many in this room have been mentored by Elaine, and one of those very people is J.T. Augenbaugh, Managing Director, Market Manager at J.P. Morgan Private Bank, and Director of the Southwestern Exposition and Livestock Show of the Fort Worth Stock Show and Rodeo. J.T., welcome.
So I've had the pleasure of working under Elaine's leadership for almost 20 years, but I have known about Elaine Agather for most of my life. Before I even knew what a banker was, much less that Elaine was one, I knew about Elaine the cowgirl. For the past 129 years, each Fort Worth rodeo has begun with the world-famous Grand Entry, where Fort Worth's most prominent, high-profile civic leaders and dignitaries ride out on horseback, completing the serpentine ride through the Six Flags of Texas to the tune that we just heard as I was walking up. And for over 30 years, Elaine Agather has been the ever-present figure in that famous procession. But she's not famous for just riding in every single performance every single year. She is famous for her rodeo outfits. I believe that was alluded to earlier. You can pick her out from the highest rafters in the arena due to her colorful cowgirl themes. I'm sure many here have even seen Elaine proudly wearing these outfits in downtown Dallas before hopping on I-30 headed west to ride in the next rodeo performance. I once had the nerve to ask Elaine, how many times do you repeat an outfit during the rodeo season? She looked at me in disbelief and informed me unequivocally that she never repeats an outfit. I believe there is an entire dedicated rodeo closet that helps prove that point for her. Fast forward a decade, and I now have the incredible opportunity to work for Elaine Agather, learning from her words and example every day. Elaine is also famous for her feedback. Feedback is a gift, she likes to say. All feedback is good. It just may not all be positive, is another favorite of hers. I have heard so many references to and sayings about feedback over the years, and of course, plenty of direct feedback itself. But when Elaine provides her feedback, it is not just an idle observation or criticism. She is making an investment in you. Elaine is passionate about being her best, constantly improving every day, and helping others be their best as well. And what has impressed me the most about Elaine is not her long list of accomplishments and achievements, but her thoughtful, purposeful, and sincere investment in others to make them the best versions of themselves. It would be impossible to count the number of people that Elaine has coached, developed, and mentored over the years, and that is why she is certainly the most connected person that I have ever met. And I consider it a great blessing to be one of those many that have been the beneficiary of her investment. Thank you, Elaine.
Okay, number 5, practice free speech. I claimed this one. As Elaine defines it, repeat your message as often as possible. People need to hear what you have to say. Don't assume they already know. They usually don't. I can't think of a better example of this than the Elaine's 8 speech we're talking about today. There's no telling how many times she has given speeches based on these 8 principles over the years, both inside and outside the bank. Many was the time I'd run into a friend and they'd tell me, this blonde 5'2" dynamo from J.P. Morgan delivered the best speech they'd ever heard at a commencement or a Rotary Club or you name it. That's when you know you have a clear and compelling message. And while repetition of a message is effective, inside the bank walls, we'd sometimes debate if it was possible to have, well, too much of a good thing. I finally had to draw the line when, after telling her about some management challenge I was facing, Elaine looked at me with empathy and those big blue eyes and said, "Oh, it sounds like you know who needs to turn on a dime and saddle their own horse." At which point it was my turn to practice free speech. Number 6, get over it. It means don't dwell in the past. Don't take things that happen in business, or in this case, around your birthday, personally. Here to share that story is her daughter, Lorene Agatha.
Hello, and thank you all for being here. It is truly an honor to be here celebrating a woman, a leader, a banker, and a cowgirl that Bradley and I have the privilege to call our mother. Elaine's 8 is something that my sister and I have heard time and time again in our household. We have friends and colleagues that have attended events where we receive texts and pictures of our mom and a laminated card with her rules to live by on them. At this point, we could probably give the speech and are definitely working to live by the rules in our own life. My sister's senior year, my mom even altered the speech slightly to be the Senior 6, which focused on how to strike out on your own in college or in business. Pretty sure number 1 was learn how to make toast, something that probably sustained my mom in the early days of her career, before my dad was in the picture, because she still can't cook. Like anything in life, Elaine's 8 has evolved over the years, as my mom has grown and learned in her own life and career. She is who she is today because she has learned to take what comes at her and, most importantly, take feedback and be better because of it. Number 6, coined as Get Over It, emerged around my mom's 50th birthday. If you know Elaine, you know she loves birthdays. And like most women, she has expectations around the big ones. A piece of advice to all the women in the audience: if you have expectations, either plan it yourself or be very clear and direct about what you want. For my mom's 50th, she had dreamed up what she wanted it to be, but didn't necessarily share that with the rest of us. As you all can imagine, we did not meet the expectation, and certainly not the dream. In the weeks and maybe even months that followed, my mom was pretty sour about the whole thing, which quite frankly made her a little difficult to be around. If you haven't already figured it out, I am in fact the second child, i.e. the ask for forgiveness child. Word to the wise, be careful what you teach your children because it might come back to bite you. I turned to her and said, get over it. We cannot change the past, and all we can do is learn from our mistakes. Next time, we will be better, and better yet, next time you'll plan it yourself. It's safe to say her 60th was a dream come true.
Number 7, develop your funny bone. Without a doubt, is one that Elaine sees as essential. Whether it's using humor to unexpectedly brighten someone else's day, get through a stressful situation, or sheerly to lighten up. You cannot survive in business or in life without a sense of humor. Lighten up, loosen up, and laugh. Well, one way that she is known to do this within J.P. Morgan is by dressing up in costume. The costumes at work started as United Way skits. And next thing you know, I was dressing up too. My best self there. And so we have a bit of a fashion show for you today of some of Elaine's most well-known personas. First, Cruella de Vil, worn by Ann Matzenbacher, former managing director of J.P. Morgan Chase. For those who know Ann, she's the complete opposite of Cruella de Vil. She's kind-hearted, warm, and certainly not scary. Next, we have none other than Michelle Thomas, Executive Director of Global Philanthropy for J.P. Morgan Chase, who clearly loves Elaine the most since she agreed to dress up in the Lady Gaga's bacon dress. She is sizzling. Thank you. Last but not least, number 8, strengthen your backbone. Dare I say this is probably the most important of the 8, as it is the foundation of who Elaine has always been. Stemming back from her childhood, doing the right thing has always been at the core of who she is. Joining me to share a little bit with you about who Elaine is one of her very best friends from Sherman, Texas, Booty Terrell.
Hello, my name is Margaret Hall Terrell, better known as Booty, Elaine's best friend beginning 58 years ago. To have a strong backbone, you need a strong foundation, a family who pours into you their highest and best, and that perfectly describes Elaine's family. Let's begin with her mother, Laureen Bradley, a force of nature. It is to her we owe Elaine's disciplined, high-energy work ethic. And here is one of the ways she was trained. Picture 15-year-old Elaine and me on a Friday night sleepover, staying up until the wee hours of the morning. No later than 8 a.m., her mother would enter the room. Elaine, it's time to get up. Comet the bathtub. Vacuum the den. Breakfast is in the oven. I'm going to Joann's for coffee, but I will be back in an hour to make sure you have completed your chores. Elaine would rise and shine and do the right thing, even when she was sleepy. From her father, George Bradley, she learned courage and perseverance. After his father was killed in a cotton gin explosion when he was only 12 years old, his mother looked to him to provide and protect her and his younger siblings. It was this perseverance and courage that he later instilled in Elaine that gives her the ability to make those daily demanding decisions that often impact hundreds of people. Part of doing the right thing is the ability to make others feel welcome, included, and even special. Elaine does this so well that she was recently caught greeting guests at the door of someone else's holiday party. She just could not help herself. Sister number 1, Georgianne, deserves credit for this attribute. Warm and welcoming herself, she modeled for Elaine how to remain caring and concerned for others, even during life's most difficult challenges. From Sandra, Sister number 2, Elaine learned the art of storytelling. You don't have to be around Elaine very long before she is telling you why your middle name has deep meaning, or maybe the story behind the jewelry you are wearing. Elaine loves to tell, hear, and repeat stories, and just like her sister, she does it in a most captivating way. To Cheryl, sister number 3, we owe Elaine's excellence in customer service. Quite the entrepreneur, Cheryl ran her own clothing store, which became the epitome of retail service. Elaine's customer service is known far and wide, but it's not limited to the bank. When she and her teenage daughters were attending the Nutcracker Ballet at Fair Park, during the intermission, the concession line was way too long. Elaine watched as the server struggled to meet the demand, and she knew she had to do the right thing. She rolled up her sleeves and, much to the embarrassment of her daughters, began assisting the waitstaff serve the snacks and the drinks. We are so grateful that Elaine's family built her a strong foundation, which resulted in a strong backbone. Because look out, Elaine, here we come.
Wow. Thank you, Booty, and thank you, Sherman cheerleaders. At this time, I would like to welcome to the stage Ann Motzenbacher and Forrest Hoagland.
Well, what a great honor to be able to present this award to such a fantastic person. That's really a special kind of a day. But she gets 2 awards. That's the best thing. She gets the award for the best entrance ever at one of these luncheons. A red Mustang convertible, come on, that's awesome. I love it. So anyway, we are really excited about being able to present this award. And I think everybody's learned all they can about Elaine through the 8 that we just went through and the bio that we've also read through. So we're not going to have a lot more to tell about her. Although I do know one thing, if you ask her or she asks you to do something, you don't cross her. You just say yes, and go along. And by the way, that's whether you're in Dallas, whether you're in Fort Worth, whether it's business, whether it's philanthropy, or horseback riding, whatever it is, you just do what she says. But anyway, we're so proud to be able to do it. And she has redefined several words, excellence and accomplishments. And that is a great example for all of us to follow. And so, next.
Well, wow, Forrest, I mean, what an amazing montage of funny and heartfelt Elaine stories, full of cheerleading, laughing, and full of the well-deserved recognition that Elaine gets for the deep impact that she's made really on people all over the country, but most especially here in North Texas. Like so many of you, I have had the fortune and the privilege to work for Elaine, to be her partner, and most especially, I have had the great blessing to call Elaine Agather my friend for almost 40 years. Elaine's devotion to her clients who become her friends, to her friends, and to her beautiful family is so evident. Her dedication to mentoring and helping develop the next generation of leaders is a testament to all that Elaine is. And her unwavering spirit and the energy that she brings every single day is unmatched. So, Elaine, it is with deep admiration and love that I ask you to join us on stage to receive the Spirit of Generation Award.
Oh, mercy. Is this over? I want to thank, all of you for being here. We have so many things to be thankful for. Living in Dallas, Texas is one of them. And when I realized what all the Senior Source does, and yes, it's a real gift to Dallas. So if you're not aware of it, now you are. Put it in your list of always giving back to them, because there are so many older people that need us, that don't have family, that someone has died, and so I love the Senior Source. 2, all my friends that came and are dying to get back to work, thank you. This has been so touching to me. I've told so many people it is so much easier to organize it and be in charge of it than to be the honoree, but this was so lovely. I cannot thank all of you enough that got up here. Ann, was that my coat? I think Ann had on my coat. Anyway, it has been 45 years at this bank. It's the most joyous, fun experience in my life. And when I got there, I remember saying to myself, I'm going to stay 50, and I'm going to do it. So thank you very much.
Please welcome back to the stage, Board Chair Den Bishop and Luncheon Chair Dee Velvet.
Return to that. There we go.
Thank you, Elaine. This was great. Another round of applause. And for the cheer squad, my daughter was a cheerleader. All I've got to say is ready, okay. That was great. I continue to be impressed with the Senior Source's commitment to excellence, whether it's hosting a successful event like the lunch today or serving our community's often neglected population, our seniors.
I'm excited to announce the winners of today's raffle. You gonna do a drum roll for me, Dan?
A little drum roll?
Yeah. Central Market Package, Donna Harris. Southwest Package, Priscilla Perez. And
wait for the last one.
And then the Carolina Herrera and Matzenbacher. You can collect your prizes on the way out at the registration table. And today I just want to say a big thanks to DJ LC for making it such a memorable day. He added some fun, right? And thank you, a heartfelt thank you to each of you for being here and for supporting the Senior Source. Make it a great day. We did.
When I wake up in the morning, love, and the sunlight hurts my eyes, and something without